Welcome along to another F1 Clash video, another Saturday's opening round coming from the next GP instalment of the F1 Clash calendar. And we align, of course, with the Canadian Grand Prix. Now, it's had a bit of mixed weather in the practice sessions over there, and we've got dry and wet conditions to fate us in this opening round. Now, hopefully you've seen the strategy guide that we released on Friday to make sure that you follow the very best strategies. What sort of group? It's a difficult group. We expect nothing less, but we're going to try and absolutely do our best to try and score some good points and make it through to the final round. Tracks coming up in this video. We have got Montreal, which is fully in the dry. We've got Bahrain out there as well, 7 laps. We've got Zandvoort for race number 3, and we round off this video with Brazil in round or even race number 4. But the question will be, how many points can we score, and can we get as close to perfect as possible? Let's show you first up Canada and what we are running. So we are going with the Red Bull Duo because it is an overtaking track. We are going with the 2 Red Bull drivers, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. Car is like this, full out cornering as best as we can get it, and we're going to come and try and fly through the pack, probably using that copper boost. But let's see what we can do as we go racing for our opening round, race number 1. We are off to Montreal, baby. So here we go then, real player by the look of it as well. So I mean, it's going to be a bit of learning progress today, so we've just got to keep on scoring well to begin with, and also learn from rivals too. So difficult matchup, but let's see what we've got in store. Where do we qualify? We've not focused on qualify, we've focused on the car, and it puts us in P17 and P22. So I'm a bit concerned. I don't really know if to do a 2-stop, but I'm going to try it in this round, all about getting ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to go copper on both. We're going to go literally like this, and we're going to see if it's good enough. So 1 stop. Oh no, what a wreck. What a wreck. Oh, we're in first place, don't worry. Don't worry, we're in first place. We're not, but you know what I mean. Come on. Whoa, what happened there? There we go, we're off and racing. And as you can see, what an anti-climax that was. 16th and 21st at the moment. I mean, I have to cut that bit out, you know, make it look like we are pros at this editing stuff. So Rival has moved ahead, and that's no shock really. They've got a higher team score, and we're going to have to try and live with it in this race. And you can see we're coming through round the outside of the Williams in to Verstappen's P14 spot. We've got Perez in the background, as we can see. Now the Rival has got stronger car. I expect stronger drivers. So it is going to be a little bit more difficult as we go right through the middle of, wow, and then the Rival just comes straight back past us, which is interesting. So they're still pushing on that car, and they're getting through nicely, and so are we on them soft tyres as well. Perez still only P18. I mean, hopefully there's a lot of movement later on in, as Verstappen nearly goes backwards. Not literally, but you know what I mean. And there is then Perez in P15. Just got to keep at this. We're not expecting to beat this Rival by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a good learning curve. And it's P10 for Verstappen. Hamilton P9. Perez still not finding the easiest routes through at the moment, it's fair to say. Still stuck back in P15. And we are struggling a little bit to get through. P14 for Perez now. Can he get up the inside of Gasly? Yes, he can. So now we start to motor just that little bit more. We've got the medium tyre Rival just ahead of us, and we've got to cut down the straight. Now, it is a quickish pit stop here in Montreal, so we've not got too much to lose out on, apart from being stuck behind Fernando Alonso, which is quite annoying. Can we get ahead of Albon coming out the pits? No, we can't. But we could potentially keep the power down. And we've got, look at that, 3 moves for Verstappen on that one piece. And then Albon comes straight back at us. So again, just going backwards. Now we're up to P10. Let's see if we can make a move on these cars at the hairpin. And knowing our luck, the answer is no at this point. But Perez is going to come in, like so. Verstappen's going to carry on round, and he's going to get Alex Albon here. There is Perez coming out. So we've got a lot of work to do. There's the medium tyre Rival. I mean, they're a lot stronger than we are, let's be honest. But it's not the end of the world just yet. Rival is pushing. You can see how quick they are compared to us. And even if they get past us, so be it. And we're going to get past Perez nearly there then. But not quite. Let's push Perez again. Problem is, power unit. That is the problem here. And Perez, even though he's got good overtaking, just not getting through the pack as much as I'd have liked to see. And now, round the outside we go with Verstappen. And that's a good little move. Perez moves himself up to P11. Perez not really fancied this race, has he? Driving like he does in real life a little bit, in a way. There he is, just currently P11. We haven't made any ground at all, which is a shame on Sergio. Well, made any ground from what we would have liked. Let's clarify that point. He's currently P9. We are moving forward. Verstappen is coming out of the pits now in P6. So at least we've gained some ground here. P6 and P8. We should be pretty fast on the soft tyres. And we move ourselves into P5 and P4. So up to P4. The question will be is, can we get Sergio Perez through any cars as well? I mean, he's got Alex Albon ahead of him. Verstappen is now flying. And then into the hairpin is one of your best overtaking opportunities on this track. And you can see why. Up to P8 we go. Conserve down the straight. Gain some of that power unit back. Put on the gas for Verstappen. And let's see if we can make some moves. Can Verstappen get ahead of Verstappen? We can get 2 places, 2 more points. That will do. And now Verstappen hunting down. Canada's a little bit of a difficult track, I feel, compared to what is out there. I mean, the rival's going to take a lovely 47 points. I mean, they were far too strong for us. And we'll check the matchup after on to show you that as well. But good job by the rival. And we'll come home in P3 for Verstappen. Not a great race for Sergio. He's going to come home in P7. And it's only going to be, well, it's still going to be 40 points to kick this off. And let's just compare to the rival, because they had a higher team score and they got through that race a lot easier than we did. So let's have a look. Drivers-wise, level 5 Alonso, level 5 Hamilton. That is looking very pretty indeed. And the car, yes, not massively better than ours, but it was enough. And fair play. Job done for the rival, and I'm okay with 40 points. Here we go then, race number 2. It is time for Bahrain for this opening round, and we move on to an overtaking still in terms of driver stat, but we move to the power unit section of the car component. So we've changed our setup to our power unit. You'll see that in the debrief screen after, and we've stuck with the same drivers. Maybe we shouldn't have, but we have. We've gone for still, I mean, Sergio Perez. Oh, that's tough. That's what's putting me off a little bit here. So I'm going to go softs and mediums. Overtaking power unit means I'm going to go for Rooster Booster. Now, we've got to make sure we watch out for the weather here. That is one of the key things. And we've got okay weather to begin with. So let's see how good we can do this time. We're going to push off the start. Perez's start position putting me off a little bit compared to what is out there. So it might be that if we do get through to the final round, that we put maybe Fernando Alonso back in. But we are literally going maxing out the stats, as what a move from Max Verstappen into P2 already. And he is all over the back of Charles Leclerc. Sergio Perez must have heard me, must have knew his seat was under threat. And he is now making ground as well. He is up to P8. So up to 39 degrees is the temperature today at Bahrain. So just watch out for the weather instruments or intervals, whatever you want to call it, really. It's okay. And we're going to do a free soft 4 medium with Max Verstappen. We're going to do a 4 medium free soft with Sergio Perez. And in P9, currently, not too bad. We're going to keep the pressure on because this here is one of the best overtaking opportunities on the track. If you push through here hard, and you can see we just make a move, we make 2 moves, absolutely on cue. The game didn't let me down there, and that is P1 and P7. Verstappen cruising, chilling out front at the moment. Job almost done with him. Perez just got to watch the tyres a little bit. So into the pits, Verstappen this lap. We can probably push him. He's got pretty good tyres. which is always nice to have. Perez, we're going to attack through the same point. So we're going to push out of this corner. Look at that, 2 cars straight away. We should be able to get the Spaniard in Carlos Sainz, and that's going to put us into the top 4 and on the back of Sergio Perez. So absolutely attacking in the right places, conserving in the right places is always going to help you with your power unit to attack. Now we conserve down the straights. You can see Verstappen, job done here, already coming out of the pits. Perez moving to softs. There is Verstappen. And this is looking pretty solid at the moment. It's nearly a full power unit. We've done this pretty smoothly so far, but you never know what will happen. Famous last words says safety car, hey. And now we've just got to cruise this. What do we got in terms of pit stops? Lewis Hamilton's on the hards. So that is our benchmark. They won't be pitting again. I think we're in agreement. Verstappen, way clear here. Absolutely done and dusted as Perez comes in. Where is Hamilton? Rounds the final corner with Perez now. And now we've got to do some catching up on the soft tyres. Should be quick. Will it be quick enough? As we push out and we push through this middle sector. Look at the cars all aligned here. In Bahrain, Perez really slow. My voice going. The excitement. As now Perez into turn 11, I think it is. And we are through. It is a nice move. Perez into P2. And we are rocking a 47 point in Bahrain by the look of it. So maybe you could say a little bit of unlucky matchmaking in race 1 and a real player. But this is looking good. Sainz has to pit on those soft tyres. That is good for us. As he chases us down. So we've just got to keep cruising. And of that we will do. No safety car to ruin us now. Only 7 laps in this race. Sainz should pit. Yes, he will. And our gap then is back to P4. Sergio Perez. Where's Verstappen these days? P6. And Verstappen for us on his last lap. Perez starts that last lap. You can see the gap now opening up. There is the Red Bull in the background. And we have just got to take victory here. Take a solid 47 points. Exactly what we need to take into race 3. No extreme weather. You can see the temperature at the top is actually moving up now. 32 degrees. And then the sun comes out and it drops. That's pretty much like British weather. But Verstappen, I mean, he was out front. He was out of sight, out of mind. Verstappen takes victory in Bahrain with Sergio Perez taking P2. And make sure to let me know if you think you're going to get through to the final round today. Let me know how your groups are looking, because groups have been the talk of many conversations recently, and especially how hard they seem to be. So good stuff. We needed a bounce back, and that bounce back was in the form of Bahrain. Now we'll show you the power unit setup. We changed to a power unit setup. 1-3-4-4 team score. Drivers, still the same drivers, 4 and 3 for the rival. And then look at that, balance setup a little bit, but our setup, full power unit, and it absolutely paid the price. Get in. Race 3 sees us with another real player matchup. 1-2-9-9 team score straight away on the matchmaking. And we are off to Zandvoort for 8 laps. Now remember, Zandvoort from 7 to 8 laps this season. And we've got dry conditions in this race. But we have got Zandvoort to come later in the round. But for race 3, let's see if we can do the job now. Now, qualifying, cornering setup, we've moved Alonso in. As you can see, he starts 4 places higher than Sergio Perez has been doing, which is good. Now, we're going to go on to the Cupper Boost, overtaking and cornering for us. Medium, it's 1 stop time in Zandvoort. So can we get off? Can we get going? Who's going to have the best strategy? Rival looks like he's going for the mediums. He's gone for defending on the Prince, though, instead of some overtaking. Alonso, well, must still be sleeping from his races off because he's only P21 still. Verstappen has absolutely got through the field and is into P10. But Alonso absolutely struggling here. I mean, we always seem to have that one driver who always does struggle. But Verstappen, it's certainly not him, as now Fernando Alonso gets that Spanish kick up the backside and moves himself into P18. Verstappen, P7, rounds the final corner with Stroll ahead of him in the Aston Martin. Not anymore, P6, Stroll moves aside. The smell of money was still no match for Fernando Alonso. And Max Verstappen moving throughs. Rival on the Prince though, that's a little bit of a wrong boost, but obviously it depends on what rival boost they have, because obviously they might not have too much cuppa, so let's not judge too hard, but they're scoring better than my cuppa boost of Alonso at the moment, so let's keep going and see what we can do. Verstappen, I think it is out front. Albon there having a great season this season, currently sitting in P4 with his new driver stats, and somehow Alonso comes past us. Now, Alonso is on the soft, so I'm not too concerned about that. We are going to try and keep at this, though. We still need good overtake. That would be a good overtake, and it's not going to be. Verstappen getting some good power unit. Now, the problem is I'm pushing Alonso quite a lot. I need to get him through. I've not got a lot of power unit left, though, at all. He's into P13. We're going to have to properly micromanage this. Verstappen moves himself into P1. That's always good. Now, expect some maybe hard tyres for the rival AI. Yes, they are. We're in trouble of not scoring the 47s, but who can blame us when we're starting and get that bad of a start? Here comes Hamilton through, and we do get into P10. A lot of work to do in this race, a lot of work. Rival could potentially double stack this. He is moving forward with both cars as we get a beautiful move. That is what we needed, and we needed that P7 as well. That is music to our ears. That puts us a little bit better against the rival. Let's gain some power unit and come into the pits. Verstappen coming out now. You can see it's just behind his clone of an AI. We're going to have to hold these up a little bit, I feel. We're going to have to. We're going to have to put the pressure on as Alonso comes out of the pits. Verstappen is there. Bang there. Now, the AI don't push like we can, so we can push a little bit. Can we get Piastri? Big moves, if we can. And we can. Come on. Up to P9. Now there's cars in the pits. Verstappen still trying to get past, actually. And now we can conserve. Let's conserve with Verstappen. It's back to race management, which we showed you in qualifying, which can be done. But also, Verstappen's pace looks very strong for us. He's pulling clear. Of course he is. So maybe not quite 47. That bad start costing us again. But Alonso is flying along. Still got 2 laps to go, though, remember. Now we move ourselves on the back of Lewis. This would be a great move if we can get him now. Oh, yes, come on. And if we can get Sainz into turn 1. We can't, but can we get him into turn 2 and turn 3? Yes, we can. Is there any movement for P2? I don't think so. Too far behind. But we're going to try. Never say never in Formula 1. Alonso now. Verstappen's clear. I mean, he's not even holding him up. With 100% power unit. Can we get Alonso through? I mean, we're catching up. We are catching up. Verstappen is absolutely cruising with the power unit. I don't think we're going to get there, though. We are trying absolutely everything. And we can just see him. It's going to be agonisingly close, I think. Come on. There he is. Last corner dive for 47. How about that one? Gain some power unit. I'm trying to push the button. It's not letting me push it. Oh, why did it not let me? I probably shouldn't have reduced down. But P3, we'll take it. That probably should have been 47. But we take what we take. So 46 points in the bag. Not too bad. They will have it. Real player as well. 39 for them. And we overcome that pretty nicely. Level 3, level 3. And decent setup for the rival too. So here we go then. Race number 4. 1, 2, 4, 6 team score for the rival. We're off to Brazil. So Brazil, a power unit circuit. And we've still got them overtaking drivers in, because overtaking is the predominant driver stat of this weekend's opening and final round. Qualifying good. Same drivers, but Verstappen somehow P13. And we're going to... overtaking and power unit. I might just put both on the 3-3s here. Let's have a look. So overtaking and power unit. I've completely gone... it's Rooster, isn't it? I completely went blank then. Let's go for that. We could do a 5 medium, 4 medium. I probably should have the tyre management, actually, to be able to do that anyway. So let's go this way. So we're going to do a 3-3-3 with Max Verstappen. It's going to be a 5-4 with not too much push-in after the first lap for Fernando. Now, Max Verstappen didn't get away great. Alonso got away better, which is what we like to see. And Verstappen is up to P10 already. Alonso coming through as well, P14. And now can we sneak through? Yes, we can. Any more moves before we cut down? Now remember, power unit track, your power unit tends to last a little bit longer. You can see we're still at 30%, but we've got to watch the tyres on Alonso, so we are going to cut him down. Time to push Verstappen again. You got the rival pushing too. And we're going to keep pushing to see if we can snatch some places. P7, P6, and there's a lot of cars in front as we get through as well. And we get through easy. Verstappen's got pretty good tyre management for what we need here at level 4. Again, we're going to cut him down as Alonso trying to get past. And we're going to come in this lap. 3-3-3 is the call of the day. Alonso, can we get him past Sergio into the top 10? Yes, we can. And now Verstappen can absolutely let his foot off the brake. Try and make a few moves when we can. And hopefully we can do it without wasting too much power unit and tyres into P8, which is good. So Ferrari goes on. Verstappen is in. We're okay on tyres for Alonso. We're going to be very quick at the end of this race. We could go to 4 softs, but I'm not going to risk it as Verstappen comes out. We'll push him a little bit just to catch up to the pack. And then hopefully he can move through on the softs. Exactly like that. The Ferrari of Charles Leclerc doing 4 softs and Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. That is what we've got to compete with. But hopefully they go to hards as up we come up the hill. Ferrari already coming back out. Jesus, he's quick. We're going to have to do some tyre management. What tyre? Softs again. So Leclerc will pit again, which is good. That is a relief. And we're just going to gain this power unit with Verstappen. Looks like Albon in P9 won't be pitting again. So we've just got to manage that one. But up the hill we go. Verstappen could do 4 here. I don't need to do 4 though. I don't need to risk a safety car. So I'll just carry on. And what I'll do is I'll actually push here for a lap. And I'll push with Alonso when he comes out, because he needs to get ahead of that rival. Both of them cars. And he does. And he needs to jump the Ferrari. The undercut. In play. Verstappen is in. Still got 30% power unit though. You could literally push for 2 laps around here. You can see we're pushing for 2 laps because look at that. Alonso's still got 65% power unit left. Verstappen's out in P2. Now we're going to push both of them completely. We've got the Ferrari ahead of us in P1, who does, we believe, have to pit. Not going to do 5 laps as Verstappen hits the front. That is music to our ears. Alonso in P3. We cut down up the hill. Power unit gaining quickly. And we are closing. Surely that Ferrari pits this lap, and it will. Let's keep pushing. We've got no safety car worries now. Just got to keep at it. P1, P2. 1 lap to go. I always think it's 8 laps still, but it's not. The Ferrari is in. We are past. It's going to be 47. That is what we're going to be liking. We're going to come through nicely. And to make the end of this video, I mean, Zandvoort, we probably messed up a little bit. We should have pushed and not. What I thought it was going to be better was to push, land that last corner rather than before. We should have probably just got closer and let us overtake anyway. But it's okay. As long as we get through to final round, we drop points in qualifying anyway, so it doesn't matter how many points we drop as long as we beat the cutoff. P1, P2 for Alonso and Verstappen, with the rival just Bot coming home P6 and what looks to be P14. So good little start to the day really here then for the opening round. We dropped a few points, obviously first race in Canada, dropping 7 against a real player. But we've only dropped 1 point since then, so 8-point drop, we should be on 180. You can see Gasly 4, Albon 4, and we have got a good setup for the rival too. Let's clarify that, where we are. And there it is, 180. So, bit of work to do. We'd still need to make sure we qualify here, but it's pretty interesting out there. 40, 47, 46 and 47. So again, the final 3 races of that video were fairly decent. Small mistake in Zandvoort, but really the race starts costing us race 1, the big drop. And then if we can get a second video out there, we'll have Baku, Zandvoort, Suzuka and Montreal to come. But let me know down below, how are you getting on?